Thank you, Dean Zupan, Mark, for that terrific introduction. Good morning, everybody. Congratulations to all of you, the Simon School class of 2013. I am really, truly, deeply honored and incredibly grateful to be here. I will say, though, as I was walking on stage, I kind of noticed out of the corner of my eye some of my former professors, I won't name names, huddled over calculators, anxiously trying to figure out the statistical probability that that Petno kid they had in class 20 years ago would ever distinguish himself in anything whatsoever. So you can put away the calculators. I'm one of those black swans you guys talk about all the time. So over 20 years ago, I sat where you now sit, and like you, I was graduating into a tough economy. And in 1989, like now, we didn't know how long it was going to last. We also confronted the same basic challenge you all confront today, and that's the need to make hard choices. Some of those choices were about what kind of goals we wanted to pursue. Did we want to make as much money as possible as fast as we can? You know, after all, many of us had student loans to repay. It was quite a popular choice back in 1989. Or did we want to make the world a better place? Perhaps we wanted to go work for a not-for-profit organization. We also faced a similar choice about what kind of lifestyle we wanted for ourselves. Were we willing to put in as many hours as needed, essentially do whatever it takes to get ahead? Or was a work-life balance going to be something that mattered more to us? Were we going to work to live, or were we going to live to work? If you're anything like me or any of my classmates, you kind of wanted to have everything. You wanted to make a lot of money, but you also wanted to make the world a better place. You wanted an incredibly challenging career, but you also wanted time to smell the roses. So this morning, let me do you a favor and give you a very clear and definitive answer to the age-old question, can you in fact have it all? So the precise answer to that question is, well, sort of. Actually, maybe. So I hope that clears it up for you guys. In all seriousness, the hard truth is that there is no easy path to having it all. And I think there's some recent events in the past few months that I think tell the story quite well. So just last month, Yahoo announced that it's acquiring an internet blog platform, Tumblr, for about $1.1 billion. And I think as many of you know, the founder of that business, David Karp, is a 26-year-old guy who actually never finished high school. On the same exact day that transaction was announced, an unnamed person in Florida won $590 million playing the Powerball lottery. So why do I mention these two events together? You guessed it. The odds of starting a billion-dollar internet company and winning the Powerball lottery are essentially the same. So if either of those two strategies is the way you plan to achieve a very balanced work-life condition, I urge you to come up with a different plan. The world has changed in many ways, but the old truths still hold. The only real reliable path to achieving your goals is through hard work. And for me, that meant making sacrifices and many compromises. You know, there are only 24 hours in the day, and it's not clear that there's going to be an app invented anytime soon to change that. So in those 24 hours, you have to make choices. How much time do you want to spend at work? How much time do you want to spend with your family, with your friends? How much time do you actually want to spend sleeping? The same principles hold true for the kind of rewards you are seeking in the jobs that you consider. If you dedicate your careers to a not-for-profit, that can be a noble and rewarding choice, but it's not likely to lead to great financial reward. If you dedicate yourself exclusively to the pursuit of wealth, you may find that you're missing the chance to enjoy the enormous sense of accomplishment that comes from making a positive difference in the world. Again, there are no easy answers here, but there is a balance that you can strike on your own. You just need to know where and how to look for it. For instance, just the other day, I had the opportunity to meet with one of our long-standing customers of the bank. It's actually a business that's based here in upstate New York. This is not the kind of company you studied here at the Simon School. It's not the kind of company you would read about in the Wall Street Journal. It's a small private company that made chemical products for industrial uses. What they make touches our lives in hundreds of ways every day, and you don't even realize it. The family that owns this business has owned it for 3 generations and has passed it down as its legacy. Now, I'll admit it wasn't the most glamorous business in the world, but as I met with their management team, as I met with their employees, I toured their facilities, I became incredibly inspired. This company, this homegrown American business, produced something useful and necessary, And in doing so, they created jobs for a community desperate for employment. And so their employees were able to raise their families, send their kids to school, pay taxes, contribute to local charities. They essentially anchored the community. And so that now brings me to the TV show, The Office, which sadly finished its long run just this last month. So, this upstate customer that I just described was certainly much less funny than Dunder Mifflin. And it wasn't clear whether there was a Jim and a Pam there that were going to fall in love, or if there was some guy named Dwight that had a beet farm on the side. But the whole point of that show, that there is humor and dignity in the most unassuming places, is absolutely true. The work that my company did to help that business get the loans they needed during the financial crisis, to help them expand when times were good, to advise them as they worked to move into international markets, there was great satisfaction in that. Moreover, it was quite valuable to the success of that business, and it was actually good for our bank as well. So that, everybody, in a way, is balance. And so that is my wish for you, and that is my advice to you. Don't try to avoid the hard choices. Face them head on. Find an organization whose mission you absolutely believe in, a place where you'll be respected, a place where you'll be tested, and a place that'll give you a chance to truly do your best work. So I will conclude now with the same question I asked earlier. Can you in fact have it all? Well, it's now up to you to answer that question for yourself. Nothing will come quickly or easily, but if you put in the work, you will find that you will be able to find opportunities to strike the balance that works for you personally. Somehow I was able to do it. So now I wish you every success and good luck in that search. The Simon School has undoubtedly prepared you quite well for this. Congratulations, everybody, and thank you again.